How amazing would it be if you could give the produce that you buy a new lease of life, harvest from it twice, or maybe even forever? In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to regrow from your vegetables in your own home. My name is Sara Jolly and I'm a painter and maker. My practice focuses on environmental topics such as climate change and endangered plant species. One avenue that this practice takes is growing my own produce and growing from waste products. I've personally experienced the truly rewarding process that this can be for you. So this project is really going to give you the chance to dip your toes into this rewarding experience, and the best thing is that you can do this with anything you already have in your home. So let's begin. So let's talk a little bit about what you'll be planting your food scraps in. This is the time to get really creative and just have fun with it. Think outside of the box. I have a selection of suitable containers here that I'll be showing you, but just keep in mind that as long as it's plastic or glass, it should work just fine. From plastic containers to old plastic bottles to glass jars, old milk cartons, or really any other type of plastic container such as this one or this one. Paper containers such as egg cartons can work too when using soil instead of water to plant. The first plant that can easily be regrown is the beautiful mint. All you're going to have to do is take a sprig and use as normally, plucking off the leaves until you're just left with the stalk. Once you've used your lovely mint leaves in your recipe, you'll be left with just the sprigs of the plant. What I suggest doing now is gathering them together and with a knife chopping off just the very tips of the plants. This will enable us to get a freshly cut stem ready for planting. All you have to do to plant these stems is fill up one of your containers, such as a glass jar, with just a little bit of water at the bottom, and then simply gather your stems and gently plant them in your jar. When planting these, just make sure that the plants aren't fully submerged by water, but just the bottoms hitting that water line. Another herb you might have left over in your kitchen is a beautiful basil plant. Similar to the mint, you'll be using the leaves in your cooking. So next time, instead of throwing away these parts of the plant, simply gather them together, and as with the mint, chop off just the very tips of the plant. And here they are, ready for planting. All you have to do is get your container and gently plant your sprigs, making sure that none of them are fully submerged by water. Do you love celery? Well, you're in luck, because it can easily be regrown from scraps. Once you use the stems in your cooking, you'll be left with just the bottom root. All you've got to do after this is take a container that you've collected, one with a shallow base is most suitable, fill just the bottom about a finger height with water, and grab your root and plant it in your container. This might be one of my favourite things to replant, as it's so simple to do, and I always use these in my cooking, so I always have some scraps lying around. So if you want to regrow spring onions, make sure that when you're cooking you just leave about an inch from the bottom to easily regrow from these. So all you need to regrow is just this bottom bit, and if it already has some roots showing as these do, that's even better, because it's just going to kickstart that growing process. So I'm going to get a bit experimental for this one. I have a plastic bottle here that I'm going to be using to regrow the spring onions. And how you can use these bottles for regrowing is you simply cut off the bottom bit of these and you have a perfect container with just a sharp knife or a pair of scissors. You'll be left with this shortened container after. Simply fill this with water. The scraps of the spring onion actually perfectly fit in the grooves, of this water bottle. So simply place them in the corners, like so, and you're ready to go. So lastly, we have a vegetable that I know very many of you will be using. It's the humble salad. It's very similar to the celery in that you simply have to, as you would normally, cut off about 1 inch from the bottom to be able to regrow with. A short container like this one is best suited for salad. Simply place your salad roots in the container and you're ready to go. Hi everyone! So let's take a bit of a closer look at what developments we can spot after about 3 weeks of regrowing now. So first I'm going to show you my herbs. I've got my mint here and you can see after just 3 weeks it's already grown really strong leaves and even super strong roots at the bottom. So that's exactly what we want, and you can wait for about another 2 to 3 weeks until these are about 2 to 4 inches long, and then you can plant these in soil if you like to. So let's move on to our other herb, the basil. This has also shown great promise. Just going to grab one out. You can see it's grown super good leaves at the top here and really good growth with the roots down here. And same with the mint, you can plant this in soil when they're about 2 to 4 inches long. So let's take a bit of a closer look at the celery, which is also showing great promise. So the leaves have grown a few centimeters here, as you can see. It's exactly what you want, and this would be ready for planting in soil about now, and you just want to plant it so that just the leaves are showing above that soil. So my spring onions have grown really well. You can see here a few centimeters long by now, and these are ready for harvesting now to use in your recipes. And don't forget that once you've harvested them, you can also just regrow them again and again. And lastly, let's have a look at our salad. So this is always one of my favorite things to regrow, so simple to do. And you can see here beautiful leaves growing, and these are ready for harvesting now. You don't want to grow them for too long, otherwise the leaves will get bitter. I hope you've all enjoyed regrowing from your food scraps, and maybe it's even made you see your food waste in a different light. I really enjoyed introducing you to this amazing world of regrowing, and if you feel like regrowing any other things, please refer back to the handout sheet because you'll find details on how to do this there. This activity was created in collaboration with myself, Sara Jolly, and Cube as part of their Good Things to Do at Home series. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching and keep growing.